Hello, readers. Welcome to reading class with me, Miss Taylor. I'm so glad you're here. Alrighty, let's see. Are we ready to read? We have our textbook, bookmark, or a finger to track, workbook, pencil, all those good things we need. Remember to track with your finger. We're going to follow along. We're going to try to read each word carefully. We're going to pay attention to end marks. Some of our goals for today, we're going to read with accuracy and expression. We're going to understand what's happening in this story, make connections to characters' feelings, and of course, we're going to enjoy the story. All right, we know that reading is thinking. Let's keep these things in mind, that our brains are doing all kinds of things as we are reading. We're making connections and visualizing and summarizing and predicting and asking questions and all kinds of awesome things. So one vocabulary sentence we have is, I have confidence we can avoid a long conversation. All right. I have confidence we can avoid a long conversation. Alrighty. Our other sentence that we have, our vocabulary sentence, is the scuba diver and her partner surfaced near the reef. So everybody, what word tells that people swam to the surface? Yeah, surfaced. If someone surfaced, they swam to the surface. What word tells about a ridge that forms underwater? Yes, a reef. Nice job. And what word describes a person you do something with? A partner. You're right, a partner. Okay. So let's see. Oops, I forgot one thing. What word tells about a person with a mask and a tank of air who goes underwater? Scuba diver. You're right. Yes. Nice job. Alrighty, so let's take a look at our word list here for today. We are on lesson 86, Miss Taylor. We read that the other day. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit to, where are we? There we go. We're on lesson 87 today, Miss Taylor. So on lesson 87, let's go ahead and look at page 80 in your book, page 80. And let's take a look at column number 1. So word 1 is buoyant. What word? Yeah, things that are buoyant can float. If something is buoyant, it can float. So, like a little rubber ducky in your bathtub is buoyant. It can float. Buoyant. All right. Word 2 is buoyancy device. Ooh, what word? Yeah, a buoyancy device is something a diver wears to control how buoyant the diver is underwater. So it's some kind of a thing that the diver wears that can control how buoyant that the diver is underwater. So they can become more buoyant, they can float better, or less buoyant, which would mean they would sink down lower. Word 3 is barracuda. What word? Yeah, a barracuda is a large arrow-shaped fish with sharp teeth. Ooh, that's a fun word to say. Barracuda. Barracuda. All right, and word 4 is especially. What word? Yeah, that word especially means really. If it was, instead of saying it's really cold out today, you could say it's especially cold out today. Urgh. All right, let's take a look at column 2. Word 1 is trailed. If something trails, it follows behind something else. If a puppy follows her mother, the puppy trails her mother. Word 2 is entered. What word? Word 3 is tilted. What word? Word 4 is separated. What word? Word 5 is branched. What word? And word 6 is anchored. What word? Nice job. Let's look at column 3. Word 1 is mass. What word? Yeah, and a mass of things is a large number of those things crowded together. So a mass of string would be like a whole bunch of string crowded together. A mass of something. All right, word 2 is pair. What word? We know pair. This kind of pair means two. Pair. Word 3 is hissing. What word? Word 4 is seen. What word? Word 5 is coral. What word? And word 6 is brain. What word? Nice job. Column 4. We're going to do column 4 the fast way. Let me scoot myself out of the way. Twilight. Darting. Soda. Stiff. Rapidly. Nice job. All right, so let's read today about an underwater world. Ooh, an underwater world. Fingers ready. The diving boat was anchored in a place where the water changed from light green to dark, dark blue. So the water is changing from shallow to deep. One by one, the divers went down the ladder on the side of the boat and entered the warm water. The boat was about 1,000 miles east of the United States, just south of the Bermuda Islands. All right. Now, second graders, you'll notice my picture is a little bit different, but the picture that is in your book, please take a look at this picture that is in your book. It's about, you can see the Atlantic Ocean, and there's the Bermuda Islands. So you can kind of see this on my map, but yours is a little bit different. And mine, if you're wondering why, mine had some scribbles on it, so I used a different picture. So take a look at the map in your book. Touch the X. That's the place where they are diving. So the X would be kind of near here, near the Bermuda Islands. About how far east of the United States is that X? Yeah, it's about 1,000 miles. Everybody, what's the name of the islands that are near the place where they're diving? Yeah, the Bermuda Islands. In which direction would the divers have to go from the X to reach the Bermuda Islands? They would have to go north, wouldn't they? Yeah. And what's the name of the ocean they're diving in? The Atlantic Ocean. Nice job. Darla was the last diver to go down the ladder and enter the warm water. Now stick together, the guide said as he floated with his mask tilted back on his forehead. You've got your partners. Stay with your partner. If you see something you want to look at, signal me. If one person stops, we all stop, or somebody's going to get lost. The guide continued. If you get separated, go to the surface of the water. Don't try to look for the rest of us. Just go to the surface. And remember, don't go up too fast. Take at least 2 minutes to go up, or you may get the bends. Ooh. So, have to be careful. You can't go up too quickly, or you could get the bends. We'll find out what those are. Are you doing some predicting? Some asking questions? What are the bends? The bends. Darla had read about the bends. She knew that a person gets them because of the great pressure of water. When a person goes 100 feet underwater, the pressure of the water is pushing against the person's body with 4 times the pressure that would be on a person standing in air. So how deep are Darla and the others going down? Yeah, 100 feet. And how many times greater is the pressure at 100 feet under the water than on land? Yeah, 4. That's right. Alrighty, so let's see. So they are going to be 100 feet underwater, and the pressure is going to be 4 times the pressure, the amount of force kind of pushing down on them as they would be at the surface. When you're 100 feet down, 4 times the normal pressure pushes against your body. When a person comes up very fast, the pressure on the body goes down very fast. It goes down so fast that bubbles start to form in the blood. The same way bubbles form in a bottle of soda pop when you open the bottle. There is great pressure inside the bottle when it is kept. When you open the bottle, the pressure inside goes down very fast, and the bubbles form. That's just what happens to the blood when the pressure goes down very fast. Yes. All right. Bubbles won't form in the blood. Sweetie, can you open that upstairs, please? Bubbles won't form in the blood if the pressure changes slowly. That's why the diver should take at least 2 minutes to go up to the surface. As the diving guide floated on his back, he pulled his mask over his face and held his arm up. Then he pointed down and disappeared below the surface. The other divers followed. Darla's partner was Julie. They swam side by side, and they were the last pair of divers to go down. For Darla, going underwater was like going to a different world. She did not feel comfortable in this world. The sounds were different. She could hear herself breathe. With each breath that she took, the air hose made a loud hissing sound. Ooh. Each breath that she let out made the sound of bubbles. Blub, blubble, blub. She could hear her heart pounding. Aside from these sounds, everything was silent except for the occasional squeaking or clicking of a sea animal. In this strange underwater world, Darla floated. She didn't feel the weight of the heavy tanks on her back or the weight of anything. But even though she floated slowly down through the green water, she did not escape from the pressure of the water. When she had gone down only 15 feet, her ears started to hurt because of the great pressure that was pushing against her body. So her ears started to hurt because of the pressure when she was 15 feet down. She could feel the pressure squeeze her mask tightly against her face. She held her nose close to her mouth and pushed air out very hard. Her ears felt better now. When Darla and Julie were about 50 feet below the surface, Darla noticed that Julie was saying something and pointing down. Darla couldn't understand what Julie was saying. It sounded something like blub, 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 blub. Darla looked down to see what Julie was trying to point out. Below the sisters was an incredible scene. They were right above a great reef that was covered with plants. Some plants had huge leaves that seemed to wave in the water currents. Some coral looked like small trees that branched in all directions. Other coral looked like round domes. Darla knew that these were large brain coral. Ooh. So everybody look at the picture. It shows Darla and the other divers. Touch the pair of divers that are Darla and her sister. Remember, they're the last ones. Yeah, so they would be up here, right? Okay. What you're going to do is read the rest of the story to yourself. Look at that. And then, after you finish the story, you're going to reread the story one more time on your own, answer the questions at the end of the story, complete your workbook, read for 20 more minutes, and have a wonderful rest of your day, scholars.